Guys, what's up? It's Apple Critics from AppleCritics.com. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the iPad Mini 4 in 2020 and saying whether it is worth it or not. So to start off, the iPad Mini 4 actually came out in September of 2015, and it shares the same chipset as the iPhone 6 in terms of the processor and everything like that. So as you can see, this is actually the cellular version of the iPad Mini 4 that I'll be taking an in-depth look at in this particular video. So this is the actual successor to the iPad Mini 3, and it supports the latest and greatest iOS. So it runs iPadOS 13.5, but there is some uncertainty as to whether it will have the latest and greatest version of iPadOS, which will be iPadOS 14. So it's probably looking like it won't because it has the same chip as the iPhone 6, and the iPhone 6 didn't even get iOS 13. So it's hard to believe that the iPad will get iPadOS 14. So just judging off that announcement and the overall software life cycle of Apple devices, that's what we can expect it. Now, it would be capable, but it's highly unlikely, but we'll just have to see what Apple has in store. So in terms of the price tag of this particular device, it was originally $499 to get your hands on the iPad Mini 4, but it has since depreciated and now is worth $280 on Amazon. So you can go ahead and pick up the iPad down below at the link I give you. So just go ahead and check it out. So the iPad has a 7.9-inch IPS panel, has a Retina display, and it's actually a solid panel to look at. It's pretty decent. It isn't too bad. It does get the job done, and it's still pretty bright, number one. So the screen size is perfect to handle in terms of having a very portable device, yet having the same solid functionality that you would want in an iPad. So the iPad Mini 4 has that perfect screen size. I wouldn't be surprised if Apple wanted to do a iPad Mini Pro in the near future, as it would be a hot seller and sell like hotcakes. Now, the iPad Mini 5 also is out, and it still has the majority of the same features and just a slightly upgraded processor, but the 7.9-inch screen is just very good, and you can see that there is the bezel around it. It's more noticeable, but overall it still has the lightning port at the bottom, and also does have the headphone jack right at the top right here. So you can see that it still has the headphone jack, so that's another reason to gravitate towards this iPad Mini 4. So this iPad Mini 4 does not have any IP certification, but yet again, it still feels premium. Looks-wise, it just has that classic iPad look on the back with the just same Apple logo there, and then just you have the cellular band at the top. So it doesn't have the same chip as the iPhone 6s, has the chip as the iPhone 6. It follows the schedule, and we're really hoping that it should get iPadOS 14. But it is still impressive that it is on iOS 13, so that I must commend Apple for doing that. Now, the iPad Air 2 also got this far, so hopefully the tablet lifecycle will allow the iPad Mini to get iPadOS 14. So there actually is a JB for the iPad Mini 4 with check rein, so you can get all the latest tweaks, and it supports all the A8 chips. So all the devices that have a A8 chip, it works. And the performance-wise, once again, this iPad Mini 4 does have an A8 chip. It's dual-core CPU, and it comes in 16 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes, 64 gigabytes, and the grand total of 128 gigabyte models, and it has 2 gigabytes of RAM for the iPad Mini 4. Now, the 2 gigabytes of RAM definitely does its justice, and just the overall performance is solid. It's very fast. There's no lag whatsoever, and it handles everything like a breeze. So it would be able to handle the normal semester student workload, papers and assignments and everything like that. But you don't want to put too much pressure on this iPad, as it is roughly 5 years old in the fall. So the iPad Pro 10.5-inch would be better for the school-related stuff, since it is a newer device, newer processor, and is more inclined to do that. So it can handle maybe the first or second semester of your college career, but after that, I wouldn't recommend this iPad Mini 4 for that particular use case. Now, we can take a look at the camera. And this is what the camera looks like when we go into it. The camera is not much to write home about, but it is a 8 megapixel camera on the back, and a 1.2 megapixel camera right on the front there. So it is very similar to the iPhone 6 camera in terms of quality. Nothing spectacular, but you can zoom in and do everything like that and see what other features it has to offer. So you have the slow-mo, the video, and then the photo mode. So those are your three options. And you can get FaceTime calls, but the iPhone 6s and the iPad mini 5 hypothetically has a better camera, but that is what the camera has to offer. Now, we do have that home button right at the bottom there if you're wondering, and the home button also does have Touch ID. So that's another good reason to get the iPad mini 4, so you have that fingerprint Touch ID all built within it. So this is just a tablet also with some solid battery life at 5,124 milliamp hours. So that's another reason to gravitate towards this iPad, and the battery life is definitely one of the best things about this tablet. The battery life does last pretty long and it's very respectable. The iPad mini original version had excellent battery life, and the iPad Pro 10.5 inch has a big display and an even bigger battery. So that's where you can compare the iPad mini 4 in that particular aspect. So in conclusion, the iPad mini 4 is a great tablet. It gets the job done. It will last you maybe for your first year out of 4 years in college. Great experience overall, but I would highly recommend upgrading to at least get the iPad Pro 10.5 inch to get an optimal experience. So thanks for watching this video on the iPad mini 4. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. Please be sure to subscribe. If you like this video, please smash the like button down below. Let us know you watch. Go ahead and also smash the subscribe button so you can subscribe for more videos, and hit that notification bell as well. And be sure to comment down below on what you think of the iPad mini 4 in 2020 and your experience using it. And be sure to follow me on all the social media platforms of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. My username there is AppleCritics, and thanks for watching.